Side Scrollers is brought to you by you. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers. It's time for Side Scrollers on YouTube.com. With me, Stuttering Craig. You got a goal? Go get it. Adam Krigler.
Hi, buddy.
Blabs.
Hi, chat. I love you. Mwah.
And producer extraordinaire, Travis Key.
Hi, guys.
And brought to you by you, the G2 community at patreon.com/sidescrollers. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Whoa, where am I? Hold on, I forgot to take that off. Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com. What's going on, everybody? Hey, I'm Stuttering Craig. Welcome to the #1 video game and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's Side Scrollers. You'll be doing this for like 4.5 months, 5 months now, and sometimes you forget how to do things. It's okay. Welcome on out, guys. It's going to be a great show today. Final show before vacation. Let's go. We're taking a week off after this. You guys know this because you watched the show yesterday, but I'll tell you guys more about that in a little bit. First, let's introduce everybody to the show. It's Travis Keys. Hello, Travis. Where'd Travis go? What is happening? Okay, where's Blabs?
I made it. I'm just saying. I was like, I'm going to be late. I was on time.
There he
Travis
is.
is a great improvement. Oh, there he is.
Hi, Trav. How are you?
Not quite sure what happened there, but hello, good morning.
I'm loving this whole 360 pixelation. It's beautiful.
It's nonstop. Also joining us is the greatest gamer in the room, straight from the other side of the ocean. It's Adam Krigler.
Hello, hello.
Hello,
Hi.
hello.
Hello there.
Governor.
You know, I mentioned we're gonna be off next week, and I've been queuing up some videos throughout the week, some like best of videos and stuff. We had some really funny conversations that I queued up. We had the entire Travis adult store conversation where we were measuring things, and
Oh, God.
oh man, I was laughing watching that. So, anyways, we got a really good week of programming ahead for you guys. Even though we won't be live, there's still going to be a lot of good stuff, even though we're going to be gone. So, should be really great. Also joining us today, look at this guy. Look at this guy right here. There he is in his dogs, surrounded by dogs. Look, just surrounded by dogs everywhere. It's
He
Marcus
looks
Nyborg.
miserable, that one. Is that Rocky?
Oh, no. Rocky's chill. Jojo just gets jealous. Jojo.
Oh.
Hey, Jojo, are you finished? She's finished. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
JoJo's straight looking like about to
She's not finished.
murder. Yeah,
She's
yeah.
not done yet.
So it's funny,
That's a
though.
lie.
I ask her, I was like, Jojo, are you finished? Then she just goes, "Arr."
Arr.
I don't know how I trained her for that one, but
Trained her. She trained
mean-
you, sir.
no, trained over time. Well, I know, not actively training her to do that, but you train each other's behavior. You know, you figure out
You
your
admit it.
personalities, interact.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, there's an element of the dog's behavior affecting how I treat them, but mostly because I try to do what I can to keep them chilled out. And hey, I mean, look at my little Mexican. He's super.
Now I know why my dog licks his butt.
See, like, I mean, he's so relaxed.
Travis,
That was
are
terrible.
you implying that you lick your bottom?
It was a funny joke. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know about you guys.
You others have to laugh
It's
for
a-
it to be considered funny, Travis.
It was
Travis
a
just
joke.
wanted to talk about his butt. It's fine.
It was a joke, Travis. Tell you.
Butts.
Love it. Well, good for you, Travis. Way to knock that one out of the park right off the bat. Look, we got a great show today. As I said, we're live over on Rumble. If you guys watch hanging out over there, great to see you guys. Really appreciate y'all. We're obviously live over on YouTube and on Twitch. But once again, we do not know how long we're going to be live on Twitch. And with us being gone for a week, the next week, we may not be live when you come back because Twitch may kick us off their platform because we are not signing their new terms of service. So make sure you guys go over and you can go subscribe to us or follow us over on Rumble. You can also obviously subscribe or over on YouTube. We'd really appreciate that. So look, it's really important. It's really important that you do. All right.
Got a hairball?
Yeah, I was licking my butt. Like Travis says, I learned from Travis. It's good. We also have a Twitter account, at Side Scroller Pod, and an Instagram, Blabs.
We do have an Instagram. We're getting really close to 300. I'm just saying. So if we haven't broken it already, we'll be super duper close, maybe even over the weekend.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe. That'd be great. Also,
295. I just checked.
Ooh,
Five of you come over on Instagram and follow.
Yes.
At 300 follows, Blabs will kick Craig in the chest.
Will I be able to reach?
Virtually.
She's kind of a tree.
No, that's
virtually
funny. because it's like, yeah, go nuts, Blab, dude. And you're gonna aim for his chest, but because it's so high up, it's gonna be very difficult to hit it, and you'll probably fall over.
I don't want to kick Craig in the balls.
Well, no, we'll give him a cup. Come
What's
on.
up with this violence, Mark?
Yeah, well, it's just
My
like
broke up
violent.
and shows violence.
Well,
Is this how they do it up in Canada? Huh?
They
Yeah.
do now, yeah.
Clearly.
I just thought of
Authoritarian over there.
it's the best thing I could come up for a way to celebrate 300 followers. You know, it's like
I mean,
Balls? Kicking it in the
Violence?
balls?
no, I
Violence?
think so.
Scrollers, and then just thrust kick him in the chest. But
See,
you know,
that's I got what you were throwing down. The idea of like the 300 kick into the giant abyss circle thing going on there. Right.
Can we just meme 300 the movie or whatever and just call it a day? Without
No.
actually kicking anybody?
Legion of Memers will absolutely go after that. I promise that'll be a beam by the end of the show. I'm sure.
give them a premise.
I'm sure the that extra zero or no green rocks is on it at some point. But speaking of, we have a lot to talk about today. Lots to talk about. We're going to do this casual versus hardcore gamer discussion here in a little bit. We have Blabs wanted to talk about miniature movie props, which was great. I guess.
I mean,
lack
they're just
thereof.
so cool.
We'll get to that in a little bit. Also, the Mario Funathon continues today as I'm going into day 6 of playing Yoshi's Island. So this should continue for a while. I started on World 5-2 last time, and somehow I'm back on World 3. So it has been quite exciting.
More to go.
2 more to go what?
On Instagram.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Janice came in as a remember for 9 months. Janice has a side scrollers baby. Says, thank you, G2s, for supporting me during karaoke foreplay karaoke competition on Twitch this past Sunday. I would not have won without you guys. Travis, you had an update on Janice.
I do, actually. Should we do it now?
Go ahead.
All right. Janice is actually going to be competing again. She is going to be competing. Let me get the date here. That's the old one. All right. She's going to be on the 16th at 3 p.m. Eastern. And it's a voting thing. So the more votes for her, the better. And it is the Karaoke Foreplay Season 4 Tournament of Champions, Sunday, July 16th.
So is that the Twitch channel, Karaoke Foreplay?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes,
sounds
it
good.
is.
That is Sunday at 2 o'clock our time, 3 o'clock Eastern time. So go support Janice over there. I think that's awesome. Great stuff.
Is
We
the
want to.
channel about what you do before karaoke, or is the karaoke before sex?
It's a really important.
It's a good question.
Wonderful questions. I think.
What's the
need to be asked.
foreplay referring to?
Karaoke as foreplay in the traditional definition, or foreplay for the karaoke?
I think it's like 4-player stuff.
I don't know. I like the idea of singing seductive songs before you do it on stream. I just think it's really funny.
Sing me sweet nothings.
I love looking down at Adam and just seeing his eyes go wide. You're like, what are you talking about?
It's happened a lot so far this episode.
It's good.
We're at 305 followers. We hit 300.
Let's go.
We also have another G2, Soccer. Everybody should know who he is. He's in the chat all the time. Soccer FW5. He's also going to be streaming while we're on vacation to raise money for his wedding. So
How much does he need?
$500 for his wedding location.
So you're telling me that soccer needs $500
Yep.
to secure his wedding venue?
Yep. That is what I'm telling you.
We could do that. As a matter of fact, listen. I've said I'm going to reinvest in this community. I'm reinvesting in the community right now. Soccer, I will cover that for you. I will cover that. We will cover that for you because you need to have a great wedding, and I will cover that for you. I'm gonna send that to your PayPal directly because you are a good G2. You've been with us for a long time, and you deserve it.
Very long time.
Yeah. So I told you I'm going to reinvest in this community.
I hope he's here right now. Is he here?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sweet.
So there you go. Yeah, I mean, I think that's important. It's important for sure. So soccer, I will have that to you by the end of the day. So
being married is super cool, man. Too, you're gonna love it.
He's like, I highly recommend 10 on 10.
Yeah,
it's good.
Now he's still probably gonna do streams and stuff. So if anybody wants to go in and watch them and donate, there are always unexpected expenses at weddings.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love that for sure. So look, love it. Well, soccer, I got your back. We got your back. Blabs got your back. Travis got your back. Adam got your back. The G2's got your back. Congratulations. And Janice, you're going to kill that this weekend. I was talking to Travis before, and I think it'd be great to have little updates like this about the community during the show, just little things that are coming up so we can all know what's going on within the community. I think it's important. So love that. Blake came in, says Blabs homework for next week. Watch UHF.
I read that as hoof.
No, it's not hoof. It's UHF. UHF.
Watch hoof.
No, listen, Blabs, has anybody else seen UHF besides me on this?
Hoof.
I haven't seen it, no.
Okay.
What is it? What does it stand for?
UHF is a movie by Weird Al from the late 80s.
We talked about this.
Right. We talked about this a lot, and that's why Blake wants me to do it. So it's a movie from UHF. It's a movie called UHF, which back in like the terrestrial TV days where you traditionally had like 4 or 5 main stations, your network stations. Then you'd have that were called UHF stations. I don't know what UHF means, but it was like your fringe stations on the outside, right? Your channel 52, your channel 33, the ones that weren't networks. And the entire premise of the movie is that Weird Al takes over a TV station for his uncle and goes crazy with the programming, and it's like super fun. So it's phenomenal.
Good? Oh, really? Yeah, because I feel like that might be good. Weird Al is a really funny guy.
It has a lot of dated references. Obviously stuff from like the 80s. He does like Rambo references and things that you'd have to know what was going on back then. But it's really funny. It has who's the guy from Seinfeld? Michael Richards. Michael Richards plays Kramer. He plays like the most important character in the movie. Also, Fran Drescher is in it. She's like a reporter for a station, and it's kind of like a who's who before they became a who's who. So it's really fun to watch for sure.
I find Fran Drescher very attractive,
dude.
I was a little kid when the nanny was on those. I was like, why can't she be my nanny?
Listen,
voice takes a little getting used to, though. I will say that.
Well,
does her voice turn you on now? Is that like some
I
weird
don't
thing?
think so. No, I don't. But I mean, yeah, attractive woman.
Well, listen, Fran.
Wait, is this the Spatula City thingy, Mama?
Yes.
Okay.
Spatula City. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, you're not wrong about Fran Drescher. You're not wrong. No.
I love Fran.
I can't even picture what she looks like right now.
The Nanny?
Yes.
The Nanny is my all-time favorite sitcom.
Yeah, I never watched The Nanny.
I love it. Also because
I can hear her
voice
laugh.
can be just as annoying as hers. So
I remember seeing her pop up in a movie like years later, and she just looked phenomenal. And I forget what movie it was, though.
I mean, come on.
I don't know this woman.
I love The Nanny. It's so much fun.
No?
There's
okay.
Good stuff.
She kind of looks familiar in that
That's
picture.
that's some early 1990s gold right there.
Yeah. I highly recommend Adam. I think you'd love it.
No.
It's kind of like it's kind of like who's the guy who played Iago in Aladdin? What's his name?
Oh, Gilbert Godfrey.
Right. Like
yeah, did he get fired? and all that.
No, he's dead now.
Yeah,
he
I think
died.
Oh, he hasn't done anything lately. That could be why.
Well, technically, that could be true, right? Because he doesn't work for them anymore. I mean, it's because he's dead, but
Well, he
sure,
but
got fired.
his voice was kind of a gimmick, right?
Iconic.
So, well, it was a gimmick. That wasn't his real voice. But I think that's the same with Fran Drescher as well. Like it's her voice is always like meh, really whiny and
Yeah,
so
it really plays up the laugh too. Anytime she laughs, it's like
right.
Adam did not like that. Oh,
Mr.
Yeah.
Sheffield. Yeah.
Love it. Also, Raynock came in and says, you buy yourself a Coke with this too. Drinks on me. Raynock, thank you so much. Let's go. Appreciate that 199. Give it up for North Scout for becoming a brand new member to the channel. Let's go. Thanks so much, North Scout. Genuinely appreciate that. That is amazing. Potato Pat also resub Prime over on Twitch. And Crazy T came in with a 100 bit, says the cyborg is here.
yeah.
And Craig, today better be the day. The day was yesterday for Blabs. It was great. Today's always the day. Today's always the day. It is. But yeah, there you go. We got a lot going on today. We're going to be talking about some show stuff in a little bit. Or do you want to hit it now? Do you want to do that now, Adam? Do you want to talk about it? We're going on vacation. We come back. The show's going to look a little bit different. Should we do that now?
Sure. Yeah. So just to inform, the community, I'm going to be taking a step back. I'm still going to be on the show, just not as often. I have some things that I'm working on outside of the streaming space, I guess is the best way to put it. And something else I'm working on in the streaming space. And I need to balance my time a little bit. So I'm taking, I can't do 5 days a week anymore. So I'll be joining, when I can. And we're going to try to do 1 day a week for now. Because I don't want to not do the show. I love hanging out with you guys. So, just want to give you guys a little bit of a warning that I will be. Is that my computer? Yeah, it's telling me something's being unplugged. It's me. I'm being unplugged from Side Scrollers, just a little bit.
Get out.
So, but I'll still be around. I just don't want you guys to suddenly be shocked that I'm not on the show every day. So.
Yeah, like we said from the start, nobody's on any contracts. People can come and go as they please. And dude, I want you guys to be happy. I want everyone to be happy. And if you got stuff going on, man, take care of that. Love it. So, I think we're saying Wednesdays, right? We'll probably be on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I think Wednesdays will work.
Cool, great, awesome. So nobody's like crazy shocked when we come back on Monday and Adam's not joining us. But I will say this: next, when we come back, we have a really great lineup of folks that are going to be joining us. We have this lady, Desiree Wright, who is a voice actor who has been, let me just say, her story is amazing. That's going to be on Tuesday. I'm just going to say that. It's going to be great. We also have on Thursday, when we get back, Slam Ball will be starting up. And we're going to have one of the coaches from Slam Ball live on the show talking about Slam Ball. It's going to be great.
Can we get
Can
them?
have had another two of them.
Can we get them to watch some of your old footage and critique it?
This is Coach Fernando. He was there when I was doing this. So yeah, I've known Coach Fernando for a long time. Yeah, so it's going to be good. And we got a bunch of great folks, including the following week, Colin Moriarty will be joining us.
Colin.
Yes. So
Look at Mark. It's like Christmas came early.
I was on one of the first podcasts I ever did, as I was on Colin's Fireside Chat show, and not talking about gaming at all, just talking about my amputation.
Yeah,
I've been to Colin's apartment, although I think he's moved since. He has a house now.
Nice. Well, Colin is a stud. Looking forward to that. It's going to be very good. Diana says, Adam, that makes me very. Diana over on Rumble says that makes me very sad.
Well, you'll be happy to know what I'm working on, Diana. I'm not saying anything yet, but
there you go. V6 Neon over on Rumble says UHF abbreviation is ultra high frequency, conveniently defined portion of the electromagnetic spectrum encompassing radiations, later known as FM radio in UK. Thank you so much, V6 Neon, for that Rumble rant. Appreciate that. All right, let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Make It Good. Make It Good.
I only do it good. Hard news.
Damn.
There we go. All right. Man, we're gonna need to figure out how to handle that with you only being on Wednesdays.
You only get the authentic one on Wednesdays.
I need to
Gonna
get
have
like
to-
a voice changer, and I'm like hard news. It won't be anything
That-
like Adam's, but I'll try.
That someone just needs to clip that right there and add it to the sound. Hard news.
It's like had a little Homer Simpson there, right there. It's got a little Homer right there. All right, so Adam, what do you want to talk about today? I know it's Diablo.
Yeah, so I talked a little bit about the upcoming seasons, and I kind of led it more into the rarity in items and stuff, and I thought we had a really good conversation. But then after the show, the Diablo dev team actually came out and did a whole showing of what season 1 is going to look like, and I've got a few things that I want to show because it is kind of cool to think about what is going to happen, and it could lead to we kind of talked about it, about games as a service and how, and I kind of want to steer the conversation a little sideways, because there's something to be said about adding new content for a price and also doing little stories for free, right? And that's what these seasons are coming to be. And Destiny 2 is doing it. Diablo is taking up that as well. They're doing this, and it seems to be a way to keep people engaged without leaving, right? You see this spike when the game comes out, and then it kind of just peters out because the hardcores remain and the casuals leave, which is part of this conversation that we'll have later. Go ahead.
Craig is lost.
I have a question. Has
Sure.
season 1 started for Diablo yet, or are they just announcing season 1?
It hasn't started yet. It starts on the 20th. So there's a huge patch that's coming on the 18th that you can actually download and prep for season 1. So it's coming in a few weeks, like 13 days or something. Another question.
Yes, we had a story about the top, first 100, 500, however many people to get to the
1,000.
max level. Yeah. Okay, how many have done that so far?
Over 1,000.
Oh, so there's
It's done.
1,000. So, okay. It is
No
done.
statue for you.
Yes.
I actually let me pull up a picture of the Lilith statue.
Oh, do they actually have that done? Is the name?
It's a physical statue in the Blizzard courtyard outside of the building. It's not in game or anything. It's actually an actual statue that they built.
Yeah, I thought they had a Warcraft one at one point too.
I think they do. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I had no idea that there was an actual physical thing. I thought it was something that was just in game.
No. It's a statue.
That's awesome.
I'm showing you right here. So I think it's probably 8 feet tall or something. Let's see if it.
It's so weird how attractive I find Lilith.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, a little bit.
is it weird?
I know.
Hold on. Is it weird? I
I don't
mean,
know. Is it not?
she's
Tell me
kind
it's
of a
not.
babe.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, thank
She
you.
literally has horns.
What do you mean?
on her
Thank
head.
you. I haven't heard a single person think otherwise. Man, she's ugly. No, every single guy is like,
Yeah, man.
would.
Lilith's hot and she's
Would.
a very terrifying villain. She's
Yeah, she's awesome.
no joke, man. Yes, Craig.
Would not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just-
get out of here. You don't play the game.
Craig failed the goth kid.
Well, I'm just saying.
You-
You said every single guy looks at her, and you think I would. I don't.
Oh my gosh.
Diablo 4 players, I suppose.
Look,
Okay.
look.
that's not-
You
Really
haven't
bang
played the
someone with
game.
horns.
You haven't felt the mommy nature
She's
of
got a
Lilith.
good story, man.
Adam likes to be
Yeah.
Mother-
dominated.
Mother of sanctuary, dude. Mother of sanctuary. All right, that's the whole thing.
I
Just
was
being-
on my toes.
Didn't she seduce an angel too? I thought.
well,
Yeah.
At one point.
I don't know if she
Is that
seduced
important?
him more as they both wanted each other.
Yeah.
Got to be honest. Doesn't exactly get the old spring moving.
Okay,
You know.
that's where she's being born, or reborn.
Yeah,
I guess.
That was when her skin was opaque.
Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, I'm
Travis
sorry.
would not.
No, I would
got a
not. But
solid story, man, too. Like
Oh my gosh.
really
The
worth
the
playing.
people out here, including you, Craig, that think that people actually want to screw Lilith as like a oh my gosh.
What?
We're breaking Adam today.
Yeah, what you just said? You mentioned that everybody's like, yeah, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Never mind. I'm
Yeah,
done.
okay, if
I'm
you
I'm
ever played
done with
StarCraft,
this.
Craig, 'cause StarCraft's like a little bit more prolific and has existed for longer. Have you ever played it? Like, or
StarCraft?
campaigns? Yeah.
Yeah, I played
I'm
StarCraft.
more asking Craig actually. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no. I don't like RTSs. No.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Because I think that like Lilith, I finally cracked the code. I was like, oh, they made her Kerrigan.
yeah,
She's Kerrigan from StarCraft. She's the
Yeah.
Diablo Kerrigan, and I was like, yeah, I guess that explains why I'm so attracted.
yeah. Actually, the characters are very similar if you look at them. But
So I'm sorry. Continue, Adam.
Okay,
we
so-
go on side quests sometimes.
Yeah, side scrollers, yeah. And in true nature of the show.
Mhm.
So yeah, the statue has been made and the 1,000 hardcore characters have reached level 100. I'm currently level 45 in my hardcore run. I'm kind of taking it slow. I'm not really trying. It's a different game when you play hardcore. And you know, I've almost died a few times. I ran into the butcher a few times. I almost died, but I killed him each time. For those who don't know what the butcher is, he is a random boss that can sporadically spawn in any dungeon. It's like 1 out of 50 chances for him to spawn. And funny enough, it was 2 dungeons in a row on my hardcore run. I think I was level like 38, 40 or something. And he is vicious, and it's
he
he can kill you if you're not very good. And a lot of people have killed. In fact, the Diablo dev team have like a tracker that show how many people the butcher has killed
Oh,
versus
wow.
how many butchers have been killed.
Have you
And,
seen
like-
like the heat map, the death map for the whole thing? And then there's like a special color for butcher kills, and there's like all these big, huge spots of the butcher color on the heat map.
Mhm.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Anyway, I was able to kill him in hardcore, and that was a huge accomplishment, I feel. But
Somebody
anyway,
told me I need to go and fight the butcher dude.
He just randomly shows up. Although if you play Diablo 1 or 2, he's a mandatory boss. Is he in 3? I think.
yeah, I was just gonna ask.
where is he in 2?
It is the same butcher,
he's
right?
I think he's the boss of the first quest in 2.
No, that's
No.
Andariel.
That's Andy. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
but
you're right. He was Andorra.
there
I don't
was,
think he's in 2.
No,
There was a boss in 2, but he was the guy with the he made the armor. He was
No, the
Smith or
jailer
something.
is not the butcher.
Oh. Was he
No.
not in 2? I feel like I know.
I
him
don't think
so
he's
well.
in 2.
He was
No,
the
I
one
played the
played
shit
the
out of 2. But he is the first boss in 1. Or
Oh,
yeah,
that's
I don't even. Is he even a boss? I think you have to. I think you have to beat him.
I remember him being the boss of one of the first quests because I remember thinking, okay,
Yeah, that's Diablo 1.
fight the butcher. Man, what was that? Man, that's an
Yeah,
older
yeah.
memory than I thought. I'm getting old, everybody.
There's a lot going on here on this screen, man. A
Well,
lot
yeah.
going on.
You know, it makes more sense to you if you
apparently he is in Diablo 2. I just googled it.
Where?
He said it's found in a small corpse-filled, ensanguinated square room, level 2 of the dungeon, and bursts forth in a frenzy when the door is open, saying his famous fresh meat.
In Diablo
like-
2.
Yep.
Like a cameo
Yep,
or
this
the
is
actual fight?
Diablo 2 wiki.
Okay, cool.
What?
Is it when you go to Tristram?
No,
No.
man, I have an insane amount of hours in Diablo 2, and I don't think that's right.
Well, so
Yeah, like I said.
continue with what you were saying about season 1.
Okay, so season 1 is coming soon, and they're adding a complete new storyline, and I will show you. Let me share this to you here. So it's called the Season of Malignant, and there's a whole trailer here. It's about 2 minutes long. It's kind of cool. It's basically, I'm just gonna summarize it real quick so we don't have to watch it all. This guy in the middle is, I think he's kind of like some sort of a priest figure, and he's trying to figure out how to stop this tide of. I'll just read the beginning here. A deviant form of Lilith's sinister machinations has given birth to a new threat, malignant monsters. These decaying abominations roam Sanctuary in a frenzy, mindlessly attacking anyone in range without hesitation. Wanderers will investigate this mysterious malady in a new questline with the help of Cormond, a former priest of the Cathedral of Light, who also trains you to capture malignant hearts, fueling these foul beasts and convert them into build-altering powers. The malignancy that's taken hold of the Burning Hell's army cannot remain unchecked. You must snuff it out at the source before all of Sanctuary becomes its thrall. Now, this overall seems pretty cool. Now, I'm in the end game, very much in the end game of Diablo 4. Like, the only thing that I'm looking for right now is the 6 uber unique, like the ultra rare items, the ones that are like, you can barely find them. In fact, there was a glitch yesterday. Diablo 4 implemented this. You can get uniques in Helltides. It's just one of the end game events.
Is this what we're talking about right here?
Yes. And so they, all of a sudden, people were able to get these items were just dropping like every other unique. Like you could just get them. And so many were found yesterday. I was in those Helltides yesterday trying to find them. And sure enough, they pulled it from the game. Like now you can't get those uniques at all from the game. You can't even get them. And you know what? I have no interest in playing the game right now because I have everything. Sure, I could play another character and like learn how to play that character, but I'm going to wait till season 1 because you have to create a new character every season. So there's 0 point for me to play this game right now, which is kind of sad because I really enjoy it. But if I don't even have the chance to get these uniques right now, there is 0 interest in me playing these games because I'm actually hunting these items. Like this is what I want. I want to find the ultra rare items to the point where I actually have a pretty interesting tool that I have found. It's from Diablo4.life. It's a target farming website, and I'm sharing it right now. And if you go here, you can see I have the Shaco, or the Harlequin Crest is his full name, but it was the Shaco in Diablo 2. This is the one I want, but it shows all of the uber rares, and in fact, all of the unique items, but it shows you where to go. Like cultists and cannibals actually have a higher chance to drop helms, so it's actually a good spot if you want to target farm these things. Just something that's kind of cool. Diablo4.life/tools/target-farming, and it's a great thing to do. All right, so here is a screenshot that I took, and I'm sharing that. This is what the season pass looks like. Basically, just like every other season pass that you see, they have their free tiers right here at 2. Looks like 5 and 8, and then the armor looks pretty badass. Of course, the armor is paid. You have to buy the pass to get access to this armor, which of course you have to level up your season pass. And you know, I'm kind of like, I'm okay with it. Like, sure, you know, learn how to monetize your game after you have the game out. And then here's another thing that I found really interesting. It's essentially different objectives that you get extra experience, small favor to help, you know, advance your way through. But they have this over here, and you can see these little axes here and the shield. Those are what aspects look like when you take them out of a legendary item to put them into a rare item to make it legendary. They're actually introducing new aspects as well. And their new world boss. So they're adding things to the game that is going to change builds. They're adding new aspects, which I think is really good for the game because you need to give the hardcore gamers things to play with. All right. Oh, we got a new aspect that might actually work really well with these other aspects that weren't really good, but now it makes it a build worth using in the end game. Because I'm a druid, and I really love the druid, and I didn't want to be a werewolf or a werebear, right? Because there's the human form, and then you can shapeshift. That's part of the druid's thing. Well, in the end game builds, being a human, it's just you can't compete. It's not viable at all, and you have to. You know, people are like, "Oh, you're a furry." Shit, maybe, I don't know, and I don't know. I don't want to have to be what the end game build is. I like crafting my own builds, and I crafted my own build, and then I finally got the unique that every druid needs to be like want to make it. It's a helmet, a tempest roar, and the uniques for the druids were kind of glitched, so that's actually Blizzard's fault. But I tried it, and my damage output and survivability like quadrupled, no, tenfold over. I was able to just crush through the game, and it's insane how viable that is. So I'm looking forward to seeing what these new aspects bring to the game. Hopefully each different class. Currently there's 5 different classes: the sorceress, the rogue, the barbarian, the druid, and the necromancer. I'm gonna do a necromancer for my season 1 character, but hopefully they bring aspects for all the different characters to really give a new build for each different class, because everyone has their own class that they enjoy. Mark, what class are you currently enjoying?
I've got a character of every class, but my main is a rogue.
You're a rogue.
It's the only one that I've completed the game with, like the main campaign. I believe I'm level 57 with them. I still haven't like dove into the end game in any major way, really. I'm just like every so often on my Steam Deck, I'll pick it up and just try to do some of the blue quests to rank up a couple levels, get some Paragon points. And it's interesting because my experience with Diablo 4 is almost the polar opposite of Adam's, because Adam is going really hard into endgame stuff, whereas I have a video on my channel that Classy Vigilante, who's my editor now, just kind of cut together of just me giving my thoughts on my stream. And I think I really love the early game of Diablo 4.
It's the best.
Because
you're right. It's the best.
So much fun. And so I made one of every class and would be like, okay, I'm going to figure out a way to by level 15 or so, make this thing OP to the point that I'm like, this is the most powerful class in the game. I have thought this is the most powerful class in the game while playing as like 3 of the classes. And it's crazy to have that thought occur about more than one class. And you're just like, oh, it's just because I figured out that my druid, for example, is total opposite of yours. It's a poison werewolf. So I'm just a werewolf that's constantly doing werewolf damage with lots of slash attacks and combos that all do poison damage. And so I'm doing a lot of damage over time. I'm running around a lot, but I'm having to get in close. You've got a little howl thing you do that heals you a bit. So I've got a bit of self-healing in addition to my potions. It's there's a lot there, even for someone who's just going to engage with that game casually, which would bring it to the games of service thing that you were talking about there and comparing it to the battle pass and the necessity of it. The one thing I've really come to with this game that I didn't think I would was, I think that if you just bought this game as a single player game, like one that you don't even plan to play with people, even though it's a necessity online game, you have to have an online connection to be playing. You don't really need to actually do anything with anyone else if you don't want to. The story is really good. Ralph Ineson from The Witch is Lorath, and he's also Sid in Final Fantasy 16. If anyone's playing that, so he's got a really great voice like this.
You guys love this game so much, and it's so obvious how much you love the franchise.
So correction. He wasn't in Diablo 2. He was in every Diablo but Diablo 2. But people often confuse him with the Smith from Diablo.
Oh, okay.
The Butcher. Got it.
So you mean Adam was right?
Yeah.
Well, of course he was. Retro Jim came in with the 2, says live service has killed community servers / modding.
That is kind of true. It's hard to do community service on live service games because mostly the company won't be like, okay, yeah, you guys can just do your own fun stuff over here. They're like, no, come to our service and pay us for any content that is made, please.
Hey, give it up for J Ray, who came in from Geeks and Gamers Daily. Hey, great to see you. Thanks so much. Love that. Always love to see the 199 popping in over after the Geeks and Gamers Daily show. Love that. Love it. So season 1 launches, you said the 20th. Is that right?
July 20th. Yep.
All right. I look forward to our weekly conversations about Diablo 4 with Adam Krigler on Wednesdays.
Make it a segment.
No,
like an intro.
No, it's not going to be the only thing it's not the only thing I play. I'm looking forward to the new 7 Days to Die stuff. I haven't dove back into that game, but there's like 200 new POIs, point of interest for those who don't know the lingo. That's a fantastic game. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. By the way, I have a poll in the chat today about, are you a casual or a hardcore gamer? Because we're going to get into that discussion in just a little bit. But I wanted to talk a little bit about a major gaming accomplishment that happened yesterday.
Should we all
When-
answer that question first, though, before?
Sure, go ahead. Travis, are you a casual gamer or a hardcore gamer?
I mean, you asked the question.
No, I said we're going to be talking about it
Yeah.
in a little bit.
So let's do it before that, I guess.
well, once we get there, we'll get there. Yes.
We'll get there when we get there.
That's
Anyway,
right.
go on.
Just me driving my Suburban
there
down
yet?
the road. Yeah. Shut up.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
reach it back there. All right. So yesterday, Blabs finally completed her quest in Blabs versus Castlevania.
I'm a big kid now.
Man, the anxiety that was given it. Oh my God, watching that shit.
Damn,
Just
Craig was
thinking
in
about
dad
it.
mode the entire time. And
Listen.
I could see him in my peripheral vision. And if I get distracted, if I look away for even a second, my focus is gone like that. So I can't even talk to him. I'm trying to ignore this thing, and he's just floundering like a fish out of water in my peripheral vision going, "Ooh!" I'm like, I gotta press buttons.
So what you're saying is that you would have actually been able to beat him much faster had Craig just not been there.
Yeah, and then he would go into like he was like a golf commentator. He'd be like, "Hello, chat. How are you today?" Because he'd be like all quiet and calm.
Well, I would do that
Loved
to read super chats, because I didn't want to read. I didn't want to be like, and guess what? Here's a retro gym as you're over here playing. Playing the
He do
game.
those little golf claps and everything.
But I think it's important as you conquered Dracula for the first time. I think it's really important for us to really reflect on how much you've grown from
Big kid.
the first session to the final session yesterday.
Mhm.
So I pulled this up. This is this
dear.
video we had very early on.
No, it's really night and day as a viewer.
Yeah, for sure. So let's just remember where Blab started. Die.
Yay. Stairs. Why can't I go up the stairs? Come on. Dude.
Get off. Blabs. When you jump, get away from the wall.
I was pressing up though.
This is why
Stairs
Craig
are
takes
like the
blood
worst
pressure
thing.
medication.
To my defense, I didn't realize you actually have to press up.
Get some help.
Most normal games nowadays, you just keep walking.
The next day.
Why doesn't it let me climb up the stairs? You see this though?
3 days later.
Alright, let's see. Can I stand on this?
I just love
I think I
that you
killed
kept
Craig.
doing the same thing over and over and over,
Okay.
expecting it to work.
Yes.
Finally, inner peace.
Finally.
So that was 2 months ago at the beginning of Blabs versus Castlevania. where
Technically
Blabs-
speaking, 9 days ago.
Yes.
We
2
have
months
to
ago.
clarify because you keep saying 2 months. It sounds like I've been practicing every day for 2 months. That's horrific. I'm not that terrible.
I
It's
don't
just been
know
9 days.
about y'all in the audience, but when I watch that, it just makes me happy.
Well, it makes me happy to know where it finished yesterday, and the your ability to adapt and learn, albeit slower than most. You still were able to get to the point to where you were able to jump and whip and use your items and do everything that you need to do, and you conquered Dracula yesterday.
Without all those save states too, don't forget. It's not like I saved every 2 seconds.
That's true. We did not get through a sequence and then save. No. This is legitimately the only save states we used were done in the interest of the viewer to save time, like we did with Dracula. The idea of like, we didn't want you grinding for 5 minutes before every time you fought him. It'd be ridiculous. But this is how it ended yesterday. Toss. Good. Keep going. Good. This is it. Keep going. Just keep attacking. Keep going. Get away. Keep going.
I'm
Excellent,
like
Blabs. Just stay away from him.
stoic, focusing
jumps,
and
get away.
everything. And he's like, whoa!
And see, I think
When he
He's
jumps up high,
shaking.
go underneath him, okay?
The shake,
next jump's
when I
gonna be
started
high.
seeing you
Or if
shaking,
you can
dude,
go to the
I
far
started
side, go to
laughing.
the other side of him if you can. That's the idea. I was so into it. I'm so excited. Okay? No. By the way, I thought that was the dumbest move ever when you were going in to grab that third, the third toss of the potion.
I saw it and I was like, shiny.
Well, right, you got distracted. I thought for sure you would die from that, which is why I was like, no, and then I decided just to shut up and let you keep doing your thing. But it turns out that was the best thing that could have happened, getting that, because it kept you stationary and it kept him stationary by freezing him. It was a great move.
Mm-hmm.
I never
You're doing
understood
great.
why you kept
Just keep going. Good. Just keep
hitting
attacking.
with the whip. You don't even need to whip if you just throw the. But anyway,
Yeah,
You did
it's,
it-
the
oh,
buttons
you did it
are
your
hor- the
way.
mechanics are horrible. I'd be like pressing up and it wouldn't actually be throwing the water, just like
Oh,
the
okay.
whip. Oh yeah.
Here we go. No. You're doing great. Just keep going. Good. Just keep attacking. Keep attacking. Keep attacking. Good. Excellent. This is it, Blabs. Get away. Get away. Stay away from him, Blabs. Keep whipping. Whip. Keep going,
Getting
Blabs.
anxious
Excellent.
again.
Keep going, Blabs. You're doing excellent.
Fuck yeah!
so now everybody knows Craig's happy dad face. My girl just scored a goal face.
Absolutely. 100%. It was awesome. So,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Just saying, all the people are like, she's never gonna do it. She sucks. Oh my
Wait,
god.
who said that?
Girls can't get. There was a couple people in there saying she'll never
A
do it.
couple
Yeah.
amongst the sea of people that had your back.
That was
focusing on
mostly
the wrong
me.
shit.
I mean,
Well, anyway,
That was-
to those
that was Travis?
naysayers, kick rocks. To all the people who are like, you got it. Mwah. There you go.
amazing. So I will say this, that I felt so much pride for you getting through the game. And I know
Going
you
to
have
dad mode.
total dad mode, 100%. Yeah, like I was so proud of you being able to get through there after, really starting off as being the worst Castlevania player in history.
You're welcome.
And getting to the end, I think it's a great metaphor for just continuing to try, because there were times where I was like, I legitimately don't think that we're gonna be able to do this. Like, I was like, we're gonna have to, and even on Dracula, I was like, we may just have to stop this here, but you were like, no, so
That bitch is going down. He did.
you did it.
So, is Contra next? What's the next game?
Yes.
It's Contra. Good.
Contra is the next game. And let me just say this. We played it for about 5 minutes yesterday on stream.
Mark asked a wonderful
rage quit.
question. I would like that question to be addressed.
Well, let me finish my thought really quick.
Okay, sure.
After 5 minutes of watching Blabs play Contra,
He was sad all over again.
He's rethought his entire life.
like, Castlevania was tough. Contra, like, there just may be a knife that's just slowly moving towards my face. Like, it's just like, it's a bit,
We got this.
it's rough.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. There's no fire, right? There's no lava. It just looks like there's water. I like that already.
Bullet hell, so the fire's flying at you and being aimed at you constantly.
That's fine.
You need to use your gun. That's the one thing.
I do. And
God.
now all I have to do
That
is
was
remember my
fucking
programming, because I changed it to these two, because the best thing is like my shooter is this button, right? So now I got to remember this one.
I still think that's going to be a detriment to you. I don't think you're going to be able to hit that button fast enough to shoot. Because in Contra, literally, this is
How
what I did
dare
playing
you,
Contra.
Travis?
Blah, blah,
I-
blah, blah, blah.
Travis, did he just shush me?
No.
No.
Oh, he was making a gun sound.
Oh, I thought it was going blah, 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 like
He was finger banging, if you will.
okay.
That's not how you. That's not how you say that,
Adam,
Mark.
Finger banging? Did he just say?
I-
Did he just say that?
Travis was not finger banging Blabs, Mark.
God. Oh, this has gone south.
I don't
got-
think
we
he's
got-
into
we-
that.
We
I don't
got-
think
we
he's
got
into
a
that
whole
sort of thing,
HR
Mark.
Conversation coming up soon.
I didn't say he was doing anything to Blabs. You said.
Oh dear.
He was going boom, 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 boom with his finger, making a gun sound.
Those are called finger guns.
Okay. What sound does a gun make?
Doesn't go bang bang.
If you shoot it twice, it does. Yeah, JoJo's upset.
Listen to your dog. See, your dog knows what's up. Like,
He still
bang,
doesn't know what he just said.
No, he didn't.
Adam,
Didn't.
Adam, I'm just
Killed Adam.
gonna divert the conversation real quick. Blabs has changed her gun to this button right here instead of the traditional button here.
That's not the traditional button. The LT is traditional button for me.
Can we before that, she got halfway through the first level trying to jump on the enemies like it's a freaking Mario game.
Yeah, I kept thinking it was smart. I was like going, shit, I did.
Do you think that'll be a detriment to her?
And I figured that would be possible.
Adam, do you feel like that'll be a detriment to Blabs by using the trigger buttons as opposed to the traditional face buttons?
Well, let's qualify. Are you
Yes.
using the rapid
Yes,
fire
I do.
shit?
Yeah.
Or
I do
Well,
think
I
it's
changed it to
going to
this
be
one.
bad because Contra, the reaction between like shifting your thumb from jump and then shoot and jump is very small. You know, it's very quick. Whereas like, yes, the amount I don't know what kind of triggers there are that those use, but the amount of times you're shooting in Contra, your finger is gonna hurt.
But you have a hold button, so I activate this one to be a hold, so you can just hold it. And not bang, 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 Mark. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah,
So
I
you got
think
auto
that's
fire on?
cheating.
Is that
Yeah.
it? So you just
Yeah, you
hold?
can- you
and
just hold
shoot?
it.
But I will say this: what was it? The Nintendo Advantage controller back in the day? You could do that. I thought.
Yeah.
Do the rapid fire.
Well, I'm using my Xbox controller because that's the one I like the best.
Feature, but the thing is, though, like as far as people saying it's cheating, like in the version of the game she's playing, that it's a default option. So
I agree.
I mean,
I agree.
Yeah.
at that
That's
point,
true.
you could argue that it makes the game easier. You could probably say it's like an easy mode and it's an assist control interface option. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I'd call it cheating, like because.
Is that a trigger with like a spring in it, Blabs, or is it like a button?
You mean the whole? This is right
Which
here.
one
this
you're
one holding.
using?
Yeah,
This
that
one
is
right here. You
okay,
just
so-
hold it in.
It's more of a button. I was gonna say if it's one of them spring ones, your finger's gonna get tired holding that shit in
Nah,
there
nah,
the whole
nah.
time.
the trigger. If like you would only be using it for rapid.
I am not against her using the rapid fire. I think
Well,
it's fine.
Contra 3 is default rapid fire. Like it's not like they eventually decided, hey, maybe making the player tap the button a shitload of times isn't necessarily the most engaging gameplay. So they amped up the enemies and the amount of projectiles flying at you in Contra 3, and I think made it a much better game as a
See,
result.
I think that's what the different guns were for. Is so when you got the automatic weapon, you don't have to tap.
Wait,
the
there's
button,
different
but-
guns. You
but that
spoiling the
was-
game.
Well, I assumed you had already got at least one different gun, Blast.
No, I just got the one gun that I spawned in with. They went pew pew pew.
Travis,
Are you really shocked that there's more than one weapon in a game about shooting guns,
Well,
Blabs?
I don't even know anything about the game. That's the thing. I just
Can I
spawned
tell
in.
him?
I'm not supposed to know anything. I'm going in there blind.
Can I tell her how to acquire weapons in Contra?
I'm not
No,
saying a
no,
word.
No.
You were
Blabs-
trying to tell her. She just wasn't.
Well, I just assumed
fair,
she had already got one. She did play it for quite
Damn
some
it, Travis,
time.
you spoiled it.
Look, all I'm saying is that I want Blabs to get a natural experience like she would be playing on a couch with her older brother or dad or whatever.
I have an
and
older brother.
Me,
Okay.
Blabs. Like that's what we're simulating here. This experience of
You're a dad.
dad, whatever, dad, brother, I don't care. Just whatever.
brother.
The idea is that you're
No, the
learning.
big brother would take the controller from her.
Yeah,
Be
be
like, let me
"You
show you how
suck."
it's done.
Yeah.
Now
Uh,
this is how it's done.
This is dad mode. He's
Right.
actually be like, no, it's fine. Go again.
So we're gonna continue on the 19th. That is not this next Wednesday because once again we're gone for a week, but we'll be back on the 19th, and I'm sure that it's going to be chaos. As Christopher points out, says Craig, love the crash shirt. Also, I think Blabs versus Contra is going to make you aggro Craig more than Castlevania. So
Show them the therapy bucket.
Contra
be-
is a harder game for sure.
You're gonna need a bigger therapy bucket, in all honesty. Get the bigger size.
To be clear, I think we're going to change it up a little bit. Where we're going to play games week by week, right? We're not going to. I think we may go from game to game, and so I don't think the objective is to beat Contra coming on this next time. I think the objective is we're just going to give Blabs a poo-poo platter of games. The
Like from Bugs
sampling.
Life.
I think we
Right.
need a new reference.
Wasn't there
An appetizer.
Isn't there a way in Contra to pick which stage you play to?
No, but there is a
Must be
way.
later one.
Someone was asking if she's going to be using the Contra code or the Konami code, and I think that maybe we'll get to that point eventually. But I referenced the code yesterday.
So she needs to put it in herself.
Yeah, 100%.
I
What
want
are
to see
we
her
talking about?
struggle doing that shit.
Blast, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it here in a little bit,
Okay.
in a couple, in like 10 days.
What are you
Diana says,
whispering over there, Mark?
I said I could enter the Konami code in my sleep. Up, down, left, right, BA, start. Boom.
there you go.
Okay.
Diana says, Blabs, I missed it live, and oh my gosh, congratulations. I knew you had the inner warrior woman in you.
Thank you.
There you go, Diana. Thank you very much. And Blake says, at least tell her the information from the NES manual. Yeah, absolutely. I think you give her the default information and let her figure it out for sure. All right, so we'll continue the Blabs versus series.
What, Blabs? What was that face?
I have no idea what's going on.
You don't know what an NES manual is?
The actual book.
The instruction booklet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
So-
do I need an instruction booklet?
Great question, Blabs. You will not know what it is. All right.
You
then I will
don't,
not. I will not. Travis, you said Mark had a question or something?
Oh, it was just about why was she playing one player?
Oh, well, because she has because I don't have the game on Steam. And I gotta be honest, I want her to experience it like most people did the first time around.
Most people play Contra 2-player, Craig.
He's like, I want her
I did.
experiencing it alone.
Game that
That's
you
I only played 2-player with my cousins.
Mm-mm.
I don't think I ever played it by myself.
That's
I'm
what I
with
was like.
these
Dude,
two.
I've never been Contra single player.
Really?
The
Just
only
saying.
time I ever
Just
played
saying.
it alone was when nobody else was around.
I
Two
would
Travis was like, oh,
And Travis was like, and that was every time I played. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't
No,
wanna be.
It was actually very rare because I had 3 older brothers. It was very rare I got to play, but
You know, as Juan says, you're gonna learn today. That's right.
You're gonna learn today.
That's right. You're gonna learn. And I think that's a little side story. I remember being probably 10 years old, maybe, and going to a sleepover for a birthday party, and we had a Nintendo competition, and Contra was one of the games of the Nintendo competition, and this boy beat Contra 3 times without dying.
wow.
And he won the video game competition that night.
Yeah.
It was quite spectacular. So, and he played it by himself. Like, this whole idea of like 2-player simultaneous action, right? That was an anomaly for me. I played the game single player mostly. I don't know. I think most people played it single player, and
But it's an arcade game, and there's two positions in the arcade game. It was just ported to NES.
but you have to have a
I
friend
didn't
to play
know
it
it
with.
was even an arcade game. I had no
I
clue.
almost started playing the arcade version. I was like, no, play the arcade version. It's better.
No, the arcade version is not as good.
Ah.
No, it sucks. The NES version is vastly superior. Jason came in with the £5 super chat. Says, have a great week off. Jason, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate that. It's good. Yeah, and actually, you know what? Let's actually make a poll out of that, because we have a poll right now. It says, are you a hardcore gamer or a casual gamer? Right now, 58% say they are casual gamers.
Out of how many votes?
303.
303.
So it's pretty
Okay.
good. Pretty good.
Are we
okay.
going to answer that question now?
You want
You're
to move
very
on?
adamant of answering this, Travis.
No joke, man. Jeez,
Well,
Travis.
if we're gonna ask a question to the audience, we should answer it. I mean,
By all means, let's answer the question. Hey, everybody, are you hardcore gamers or casual gamers? Let's start with Travis Keys.
oh, I used to be a hardcore gamer, but now I'm old, so I'm a casual gamer. Don't have time.
Adam?
I think you know the answer to that.
Hardcore.
Labs?
I would say I'm more casual. Maybe I'm hardcore on specific games, but overall casual.
Mark?
I mean, do I have to answer? I'm definitely a hardcore gamer. I spend most of my time playing video games. Everybody.
And I at one point was, then kids happened and life happened. So now I scale back to casual for sure. And I think there's nothing wrong. I think that mimics the vast majority of people in life. I think most people go through that exact same thing. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So we wanted to have this conversation about the casual versus the hardcore gamer. We kind of got into this a little bit yesterday. And I pulled up a little document, I guess, a little article about like the 6 most common gamer stereotypes. And this is from commonsensegamer.com. And this doesn't necessarily have to do with the casual versus hardcore, but I thought these were kind of funny because I think everybody can relate to these in some way, shape, or form. They have the 6 different kinds include the casual gamer. Oh, where are we at? There we are. The casual gamer. Which, you know, this one is the most common gamer out there. The casual is someone that plays the game just for fun and entertainment. They usually won't spend hours analyzing their gameplay or watching videos on how to improve, right? And I think it's kind of where I'm at in life, right? Then there's the professional. Now, the antithesis of the casual gamer, the professional. This type gamer lives and dies by their virtual sword. They give all their every single game. They give it their all every single game they play, and they might have aspirations of making a career out of gaming. So there's Markin. What's that?
I feel attacked.
You know, I gotta just say real quick.
Yes.
I think everyone's a hardcore gamer, and their choice of game changes. You became a father, so you're playing the game of being a dad, and you became a hardcore gamer in that aspect. Like people on Wall Street, they don't play video games; they play the game of stocks, and that's their game. Everyone chooses. Jordan Peterson said the other day, he's like, you know, these young kids that are out there slaying dragons, and like that's what they thrive, they want to be, and it's like they just haven't met their like their dragon in reality yet, like the thing in life that isn't a video game that they want to conquer, that becomes their new video game. Like everyone wants to have, and like everything that I've ever done, I go freaking above and beyond. Like Magic the Gathering, like I went way too hard into Magic because that's how I do things. Like skateboarding, I started skateboarding, and then suddenly I became a professional and I started designing skateboards. Like I do everything to the extreme. Like that's kind of just the way I do things. I think a lot of people are always seeking the game that they want to play, and sometimes it's not an actual video game. Do you know what I'm saying there?
Well, I think you're just talking about passions, right? People's passion, right?
Yeah,
and
true.
And when it comes to video games, people early on in life, right? You have this thing that's introduced to you, video games, technology, whatever, and it's this fun thing to do. Then all of a sudden you realize, hey, it's kind of fun to do. I like to do this more and more. Then all of a sudden you spend more and more time doing that until the next thing pops up. For some people, it's sports. For some people, it's whatever, band. And then you go off to college or you do whatever, and then you have this other thing that you get into. And then guess what? You get done with college and you get married. Then all of a sudden you're all in on married. Then guess what? You have kids. Then you're passionate about your kids, right? Everyone has these phases in life, right? And some people are more fortunate than others to where they can make, like, I realize that I'm incredibly lucky to have been able to do this for as long as I have, right? And talk about video games and you know, just the culture of video games for the better part of 2 decades now, right? That's really fortunate. And, you know, I follow this passion, this hobby that I have, and it's become a career, right? I'm not the best gamer by any means. But I think at times, you know, that's really kind of what it comes down to, is just people's passion. I have more passion for my family than I do video games right now, right? And it's all about what you value.
I should
most.
hope so.
Right, exactly.
to Adam's point, when I was in school, I forget which grade it was. We did stock markets, and we actually followed the stock market. And our teacher gave us a sheet, see how much money people made and all that. You could invest in certain things and all that. And I found that extremely fun. Made a shit ton of money doing it in my class. I actually made more money than everybody else. And I think if you make things that you enjoy more game-like, then you can enjoy them even more. For example, if like you mentioned band, if you make practicing band more game like fun and entertaining, then it's not a chore to practice. You know what I'm saying? So
right, exactly. And that's with any walk of life. Go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry.
I think it can be summed up as even more simply or at a more of a bird's eye view, like at a higher level than gaming. I think it's challenges. We thrive on completing challenges, or a lot of us do. And even I think I can agree with Adam as far as like even the people who might say they don't, keep talking to them because you're probably going to find something that's like, oh, do you like doing this? And one of the things they say they'll like doing is going to be something that involves overcoming a challenge that they're comfortable with. So that doesn't necessarily mean that I think every gamer should absolutely require beating Castlevania before they play any other video game. It's like find the entry point that's comfortable for you. Like you're not a real gamer if you haven't played every single game that I've played. Because A, it'd take you like 30 years, and B, everyone has their own experience with this hobby and with other things outside of it, like the gamification of different things, the way Travis was talking about, or just getting into this. I found a game here that I really want to win, and it's a good, very deep motivator for humans. I find it's just overcoming a challenge.
Yeah, I think that's really what it comes down with anything. That's the difference between I think a hardcore gamer versus a casual gamer is what is your motivation behind the game, right? The hardcore gamer, there's obviously somebody who has an immense passion for the games that they play, but a lot of times it also comes with skill because you gravitate to something that you're traditionally good at. You don't see a whole lot of rock stars who suck at playing music, right? They usually have some sort of talent attached to it, whether it's playing their music or having some sort of stage presence or whatever. There's a unique, when you have somebody who is extremely passionate about what they do and also have an extremely prolific skill set, that's where you get stars, right?
Yeah, but I also think that skill can come from the passion, meaning you do it enough, so much that you become, what's the word when you have 10,000 hours or something?
Good.
You become a master. Yeah. I think people who are rock stars spend their whole day fucking singing. That's why they're so goddamn good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think, when it comes to, there's always been this, this line, this I don't know, maybe a degree of arrogance when it comes to the hardcore gamer versus the casual gamer. The idea of kind of sticking up your nose a little bit of like, oh, look at these plebs over here, these casuals, right?
No. That's wrong. That's wrong.
Well, let me finish my thought real quick.
Okay, fine.
But I think that happens a lot in any walk of life, right? Whether that's gaming, whether that's stock trading, whether that's, whatever. I think that anytime there's some sort of expertise attached to, any role, there's always this thought process of like, look at these idiots down here, like that, whatever. But I think you can flip that as well. And I feel like from the casual perspective, they also look at the hardcore or the expert, and there's some maybe a little bit of I don't know, inferiority complex, or you know what I'm saying with that? But
or jealousy. No, okay. There's a big difference between being a hardcore gamer and being a tryhard, or like the tryhards. Well, there's a type of gamers that consider themselves elite and don't want anyone else to be on the pedestal that they're on. That has nothing to do with being a hardcore gamer. They could suck. They could be trash players and use hacks to get to that position. Like you don't have to be a hardcore gamer to be a tryhard. And those types of the people that look down on others, those are not hardcore gamers. They could be. that they might be, but it's like two different categories, right? It's like you can be a really good player and want other people to be really good players too. Or you could be a really good player and want everyone else to stay shitty so you can remain being the best player without having any competition. Like that's the difference between just being tryhard or not. Like anyone could be a tryhard, anyone. And it's that same, and I think the inverse is the people that see these elite gamers. Maybe it is inferiority. Maybe it is the victim complex. Oh well, they just got good because of privilege, because they were able to play longer, because they were just white. Who the fuck knows? Like I'm sure they added some racist shit into it, because like everyone has like they look for ways to like blame people of positions and how they got there, instead of realizing that most people in those positions got there for working on it and earning those positions and practicing and getting really good. No one wants to put in the effort to do work and get good at things. So they look at people of positions and they're like, how did they get that without like, and how can I get that? It's like we're seeing that with social media. People are seeing these other people's lives, thinking like they have these like amazing lives and are getting jealous. And it's like, first off, that's not their real life. That's just an image that they portray of themselves online. So I don't know, man. People don't want to put the effort in to have the life that they want. If you want to be a good gamer, if you want to be really good, if you want to beat Dracula, you got to work for it. Look at Blabs, right? She had no chance of beating Dracula 2 months ago. 9 days ago. Sorry. Whatever. 2 months ago. She had no chance. If you put her up against Dracula 2 months ago, she would have gotten her ass handed to her over and over and over again. Now she did get her ass handed to her over and over and over again, but she persisted. She persisted and beat him, right? So thus elevating herself. Not necessarily a hardcore gamer, but if she were to practice, she proved that she can beat it, right? So it's like you got to put in the effort. The people who are up there, and that's why I just like there's a difference between hardcore gamers and the tryhards. Like I want everyone to enjoy the game that they play. Like if you don't enjoy it, why the hell are you playing it? Don't play a game you don't enjoy. But if you do enjoy it and you want to be as good as the people that are on the top, then you got to like learn from them and practice, and you will be that good. So
I find that the level of competition in the game in question, or even the style of game in question, can affect that personality a lot too. And the reason I bring that up is because I recently got into two games that have a lot of similar elements. Diablo 4, which I mean we know a little bit about from earlier on in the stream, and Final Fantasy 14. Now, both of these games are big games that have huge worlds to explore, where you have main quests, you have side quests, you have different classes. I have a rogue in both of them. I have a paladin, a dark knight, and an astrologian in Final Fantasy 14 now, because apparently I just can't stop making new classes and things. But the community in Final Fantasy 14, because that game is so geared around cooperative play and working towards the same goal, not that Diablo isn't. I mean, I'm not saying that those two are polar opposites, but that's a community where the people in my audience who play the game are like joining the game with me and like throwing me money and stuff like, and not real money. I'm talking about Gil in Final Fantasy, to be like, yeah, here, buy yourself some good gear and stuff like that. And there's this real welcoming. Oh, hey, there's a person that's never played this game before and doesn't know anything about what they're doing. I now have 130 hours in Final Fantasy 14 and I still feel like a noob because that game is so big and complex, but the community of players in that game at least are very, very welcoming. And they're the hardcore guys in that they've spent more hours playing it than most other people have. But when they see a new person, their reaction isn't just like, think they can hang with us, think they can play Call of Duty like me. Like they think, hey, a new person, you want to see my flying mount? It's really cool. Hey, you get these at level 50. So keep playing the game till 50, please. You want to be friends? that's kind of how they react. And it's I don't know, it's very pleasant. And I think that's kind of a nice thing about gaming communities and seeing the way hardcore players will embrace new players. I mean, even the way all the people were encouraging Blabs during her Castlevania run. You know, like most of the people in the chat were like, come on, Blabs, you can do it. Just learn. Like, just
right.
It's all about
you gotta learn.
Learn the enemy attacks, learn your mobility, and figure out how to use your mobility to avoid the enemy attacks. At the same time, know the range of your attack, understand when the enemy has an opening, be in the range of your attack when the enemy presents that opening, and attack. That's all you got to do to beat anything in Castlevania. But it takes time, it takes practice. And I think hardcore gamers can be very, very nurturing and accepting people. And it really comes down to social skills. Like, it's just don't be an asshole to people that are trying to enter your hobby. If they're doing it to be like, hey, yeah, I'm interested in this stuff. You want to teach me about it? I'll be like, no, get away, noob. That's not very nice.
Yeah, the gatekeeping attached to it, right? You don't want to be a gatekeeper, right? That's probably the biggest thing. So
or keep the gate, but be like, hey, yeah, but people can come in. Don't just be like, no one allowed.
Right. Kyle says, I am well, thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that. Awkward. You probably want to get that checked out. Blake says, in a way, we have our own personal El Guapo. Thank you, Blake. Appreciate that. Don't understand that reference, but
Same.
Extra Zero says, in the 80s and 90s, it was common for games to be a feat. In my opinion, it's a core reason Souls games are popular. Overcoming real challenge is beyond gratifying.
We got a new FromSoft game next month too. Armored Core 6, baby.
I already pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
Blabs, how did you beating Dracula yesterday compare to any feat that you've done in video games? Any accomplishment that you've had?
It's a different kind of grind, I'd say, because the other ones were always like something. It's different, right? It's a different type of grind. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that because I've never played an NES game before. I've never had to do any of the no saving except after the boss fight type of deal to continue on.
Mm-hmm.
All the other games that I've been playing in the last couple of years always had automatic saving. Because nowadays everything is auto-save. And if it was going for like a skin or a gun or some type of weapon, you could just keep going. But after the grind, you're done.
Right.
Which is, amazing because I didn't like the game. I'm not going to lie. The music drove me insane after a while. But yeah, it's a different kind of grind. They're different. Not one's worse than the other. I think they're both equally satisfying in my opinion.
Did Blabs just
that
speak
makes sense.
Of the Castlevania music though? Of all things, you went after the music, Blabs.
Dude,
people love
that shit. Well, after a while, I'm just like,
well, the grind. I think he's talking about.
nightmare.
I think he's talking about the feeling after beating him. I watched when you beat it. It's like there's that like rush that you got. Like, have you gotten that from any other game? Like that feeling of accomplishment. Like, what was the last time you had that level of I fucking did it? I just fucking did it.
It'd probably have to be when I replayed the old EA Harry Potter games because I hadn't played them in like almost 20 years and I don't remember ending them. So because they were so glitchy from the old EA 2001 games, those were probably like, yeah, I finally beat them. Whereas the newer games, I don't feel any accomplishment at all. And honestly, I'm just like, okay, I finished it. I got 100%. Cool. So yeah, I guess this one you get a greater sense of accomplishment, but then I'm just like, okay, next time to go and break Craig's chops with Contra now. On to the next one. So I guess it's really short-lived.
Blake says, Craig's over for next week. Watch Three Amigos. No, I know Three Amigos. Absolutely. And I wasn't quite sure what your El Guapo reference was going to. In a way, we have our own personal El Guapo. But Blake, I love Three Amigos. Love Three Amigos.
I've not seen it since easily the early 90s.
Oh,
same.
Martin Short is a Canadian hero.
He's amazing. Dana Carvey, Canadian hero, yeah.
Oh, is Dana Carvey Canadian too? I know Mike Myers is.
Mike Myers, maybe that's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
Yeah.
And Bethesda's Loremaster brings up a really good point. It says a certain amount of gatekeeping is necessary. Look at our hobbies, cards and video games being infiltrated by these activists and burn them to ash.
Yeah,
I'm not against gatekeeping anymore.
Sort of why I specified keep the gate, but also don't be afraid to let people in.
Well, there's a difference between the gamer side of things and the developer side of things.
Yeah,
like if you're going to develop on a game and you don't give a fuck about the game, why are you
Why are you on
then
that?
what positive element are you going to bring into this game, right? These people are coming into these IPs that don't give a shit. Like someone, I watched Disparu's breakdown of Willow, the behind the scenes. Disparu's hilarious, but
Yeah.
somewhere in there, one of the writers was like, "Oh yeah, I watched the original Willow just to like get see what it was about," and it's like, well, I should hope so, right? I mean, everyone should watch Willow or like care about what Willow is going to be about. And it's like, that's the energy that a lot of these are like, I don't even know what I'm working on. I don't care. I just wanted the paycheck. And I'm going to slip my own messages into it. Yeah, because like these people need to learn how to be moral humans because they aren't.
It's
like,
not a story, it's a platform. So
right.
it's like,
Exactly. No one gives a shit.
I think selective gatekeeping is the best. That would be the best way. But like, if you're not gonna go and ruin stuff and change it to adapt to your needs, then you can stay. But if you want to go and twist everything and make it to how you want it and how you think it should be, and excluding everyone else who's been in the community or whatever you want to call it, then you need to go. That's how I see it.
Yeah, it's there's a certain level of gatekeeping that I would say it's just like gatekeeping or protecting, I guess. I don't know. Like what you see this all the time where people go in and they have a different vision for things. It's like there's a reason why you wanted to be associated with this and to begin with, right? And then you want to come in and change everything. Well, that doesn't make any sense at all. But I love it. Kyle says DSP felt a rush when he beat it. Easy, Kyle, easy.
His demons.
You did beat his demons. All right, good stuff. What's that?
On the whole time.
The camera's on the whole time.
Oh, jeez.
By the way, I wanted to finish up these the rest of these 6 common stereotypes. So we had the casual, we had the professional, then we have the excuse maker. The excuse maker. The excuse maker might be one of the most annoying gamer stereotypes out there, but also one of the most common. When dealing with this type of gamer, type of player, your games might suddenly feature a soundtrack of justifications and excuses. We've all been through that before. The excuse maker, right, Blabs?
I never made an excuse. I always said I just gotta get good.
I think either the casual or the professional can also be the excuse maker, though. I don't think that's a separate category, really. There's some people that would be like, fucking, like, there's stupid leg spikes, god damn it, or the ping in this game is terrible. That's why I can't
Yeah, I've seen some pros throw some controllers.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should ever break or throw the controllers. Like,
well, that's different.
Guys.
That's different. The excuse maker is all verbal.
Yeah,
I know, but still, like, it's at that level. Like,
That's a different gamer. It's probably on this list.
Then we have the gambler. Gambler, one of the most unpredictable gamer stereotypes to run into. At times, you'll love playing with them, and sometimes you might hate it. The stereotype represents all the chaotic gamers that need just a bit more excitement than everyone else. They might jump in front of a grenade to save your team, or they may try to bet with you on who's going to win the game.
I don't think this is real.
Yeah, I don't.
This is why you want to bet on everything.
I totally agree, Travis.
Yeah, Trav, your internet's really bad. Sorry, buddy. You're robo trap. The cheater, maybe the only type of gamer hated more than the excuse maker. The cheater doesn't care about play fair or merit. They'll do what they can to beat you, whether or not it includes breaking some rules along the way. Then we have the social gamer. The last gamer stereotype we'll be covering in this article is the social gamer. This is someone that plays games for social interaction aspect rather than playing aspect of them rather than anything else. Right. So
who made this list?
This is from commonsensegamer.com in 2019. I'm sorry, 2021.
They don't have the rager, which is I'm shocked that the people who rage. Like they get mad at their teammates for not doing well. They're the ones who throw in controllers. They'll get mad at you when winning and like lecture you on how they could have won better. And it's like that's a stereotype that exists that wasn't on that list, and that's ridiculous.
Well, that's fun, and yeah, I do. There are a few that are missing in there, but
What else? What else is missing?
well, let's see. There's that's the excuse maker. I would say maybe, yeah, the excuse maker, the guy who says it's never their fault. That's definitely the excuse maker. There's also well, I was gonna say there's the maybe the gamer who only plays for social interaction, but also
It's okay to say. I can't think of any.
no, I have one on the tip of my tongue, but it's not. I can't articulate it properly. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I hear you on that. All right, let's go ahead and move on. And let's talk about what Blabs wanted to talk about. There's a video that hit the internet, I guess a couple days ago, which, we've been talking about the Titanic a lot lately, and there was a scene. Well, I'll tell you. We'll just kind of show you this.
You might get flagged for copyright from music.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna turn down the music. Turn the music all the way off.
Celine Dion, Canadian hero Celine Dion.
Yes, it is.
Song in Canadian hero James Cameron's film Titanic from 1997.
That's right. About
I was one.
Yes, you're one. All right,
1997. Yeah.
Check this out right here. This is there is music here, but this is a pretty famous scene. I think that a lot of people, who've seen the Titanic movie would recognize. And up until me seeing this video, I didn't realize that this was all miniatures and practical effects, which is
it's just so amazing. I'm pretty sure I discussed this like a couple of weeks ago, saying how everything is just CGI now and they don't use real props. Like if you even look back at the original Star Wars trilogy, they used real props, or they made everything like this miniature, like mini little scale and everything. I thought that was so cool. They don't seem to do this anymore. They have no imagination. Like the imagination that goes into this, where you like put everything to scale, little doors. They do this for so many films, like from Harry Potter to Star Wars to Titanic, and now everyday stuff from like, 2018 on, it seems to be just CGI.
I think famously one of Stan Winston's last projects ever was the original Iron Man suit. So Marvel.
Yeah, now Iron Man is all CGI. Like Tom Holland's Spider-Man costume is all CGI. He's just wearing dots and stuff. And I'm like, come on, man.
I mean, look at how good this looks and how good the practical effects. You can't pull this off with computers. Like
it's
you
just
can't.
It's crazy to think that it's just little mini stuff.
Oppenheimer's coming up as the next movie that has gone really out of its way to be super practical. And actually it's coming out, I think, just after Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, which is also kind of like they go out of their way to do things for real in the Mission Impossible series. And that's the kind of filmmaking that to me it really justifies high budgets, whereas these $300 million movies that are shot in like a green screen.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, and the volume from Lucasfilm, the volume is just a giant screen.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is amazing, but I was like, no, thank you. I saw the.
I shall pass.
I heard this.
Wait, someone said it was amazing. Who said that?
No,
probably Grace Randolph.
No. I said for all I know it is. So
it's not.
For
all I know, it's terrible.
What I'm curious about is the score by John Williams.
All I heard is this movie makes Kingdom of the Crystal Skull look like a good movie, and I'm like, yep, I never need to see this. I'm okay, because I think Crystal Skull is terrible. I don't really buy the whole.
There were some aspects that were okay in that one. I didn't mind him having a son. That was kind of cool.
The first thing you see in this film is CGI gophers in Crystal Skull. That's the first shot of the film.
Why do you need CGI gophers?
Yes. And there's a sequence in the movie where there is a motorized vehicle rocketing through a dirt road in like a jungle.
Yes.
And
they're swinging on trees.
Shia LaBeouf swings on vines with monkeys.
Yeah, it's a terrible movie, but there were some aspects I'm like, okay.
Whoa. One at a time, guys. One at a time, kids. One at a time.
That was too ridiculous for me to ever be like, oh yeah, that movie's actually pretty good, guys. It's like, no, that was a piece of shit. Like, let's calm down.
It's a terrible ending.
But
that was a trash movie.
Yeah,
He's right, Bobs.
Well, I'm not gonna say it's a good movie because I've never liked in the first place, but I didn't mind him having a son, is what I was saying. Like that's kind of an interesting take they could have done. For me, the best
I thought that
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Not Race of the Lost
It
Ark,
wasn't,
Crusade.
it wasn't the premise that bothered me. It was the execution. So
Oh, yeah, it was all
okay,
shit. I
give me
mean,
Indiana Jones and
and all
Son.
that.
I wasn't even opposed to the aliens aspect. It's like, oh, Indiana Jones is going after aliens. That's not Indiana Jones. I'm like, can't it be though? I mean,
No.
I don't know. Like, when they established at the beginning that the Ark of the Covenant was being held in Area 51, that was the last shot of Raiders of the Lost Ark, I was like, okay, yeah, if that's Area 51, I guess you can integrate Indiana Jones dealing with 1950s alien conspiracy stuff. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's off the bat a bad idea. But if you make a bad movie out of that idea, it's still a bad movie.
Yeah.
You can make,
Yep,
you can make a good
nailed it.
movie out of a bad idea, and it's still a good movie.
To bring it back to the miniatures that I was discussing, I kind of think that they're going to bring it back to using real props and miniatures. I think there might be a shift going because everyone's shitting on the CGI. The employees are being overworked. If you remember at Disney, there was that whole thing that was it Marvel, I think, was overworking their staff with CGI. And I hope they'll go back to props and real aspects instead of just using giant green screens. Maybe in 10 years. Maybe I'm wrong, but
Well, I mean, I think that it is likely that we will, more likely than a shift from CGI effects to practical effects, what we're more likely to see as a response to all these like ultra inflated budgets, especially in the movie industry, is more movies focused on being like, hey, let's do like a John Wick thing. Let's spend $60 million instead of $200 million and just get some stunt people to choreograph some really good fight scenes, shoot it really well, make it 90 minutes, and be able to play it twice as many times in theater per day as our 3-hour Marvel movies that we're deciding every single one needs to be that long.
yeah.
But I think that what that will also mean though is essentially the absolute death of the superhero genre, because they are not about to start trying to put in the artistry needed to shoot an Ant-Man movie like it's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, you know, like it's like we're going all practical, we're doing stop motion ants that we're going to composite over these. It's like, no, you're not. You're going to just make the CGI look worse if you want to lower the budget for that kind of movie. So I think what will end up happening is the studios will just be like, okay, these are just not, they're not pulling in the money that we need to justify a $300 million budget. So we can't be spending $300 million on these movies. They're like, well, but how's Avengers 7 going to be the most crazy, mind-blowing action spectacle ever at the end of the movie? They're like, yeah, we're just not making it. How about that?
I bet you everything just could eventually just go straight to Disney Plus and not even be released in theaters for all these MCU stuff since they're off flopping almost.
I think we're going to be seeing more of Epicverse stuff like that. You know, these new
indie companies.
indie companies that are realizing that you don't need CGI to make a good movie.
Yeah.
You just need good camera work, a good script, good actors, and you don't have to have like millions of dollars to do that. And people are thirsty for quality, and CGI does not equal quality. Even good CGI doesn't mean that it's going to be a good movie, right? Mark was right. The premise of the Crystal Skull could have been executed well if they did it right, but they did it so cheeseball, and it wasn't an indie movie. It just had decals of Indiana Jones like slapped all over the place.
Indie
but
by
was
way
it
of
an indie movie?
Star
No.
Wars prequels. It was Star Wars prequels version of Indiana Jones Crystal Skull. That's basically what that was. I think the
Way
Star Wars
worse.
prequels have some,
Way worse.
That's the thing. It's like it was only episode 1 with no episode 3 to put a button on it and be like, oh shit, that actually told a really good story. Look at that. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think that focused low budget. For example, have any of you guys seen Sound of Freedom or heard of it?
I can't wait to see it.
So yeah, like apparently it's I've not seen it yet myself. I did find out it's playing at a theater a little bit further away from me, so I might end up going to check it out. So this is a movie that was made 5 years ago. It's a very, very heavy subject matter. It's about human trafficking. It stars Jim Caviezel, who played Jesus in Passion of the Christ, and it was shelved in like 2018. It was made by Fox. And then Disney got it in the acquisition and they didn't really want to release it. So it just kind of sat on the shelf. And this, I think it was a Christian movie company called Angel Studios, or they say they're a faith-based production company, bought it for like a fraction of what it cost to make it. And it's like tracking better than Indiana Jones, especially on like a per
It beat Indiana Jones last weekend.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay, wow.
Well, nobody was really excited for Indiana Jones. I mean, in all honesty, I didn't see a single person who was like, woohoo! No.
And look at that. look at what that's saying. People were more open to go seeing a heavy ass movie about human trafficking over an Indiana Jones movie. Like,
Crazy.
that says a lot for where people are, and that's a sign of hope, honestly. Like, that people care more about going to watch this movie that is based on a true story. By the way, it's not just a movie; it's based on true events. So, there's a reason they shelved that shit.
I was on Comics Division show last night, and a bunch of them have seen it, and they were like, "Yeah, no, it's not fun. You're not going to have a good time at this movie, but you'll be extremely emotionally affected by it. You might be apparently crying by the end of it, and apparently it's a very important film to go see. So I really want to make the time to go see it. I might actually go do that after the show, though. I do want to play Final Fantasy 14.
He's like, oh, which one do I want to do more?
Well, I mean, honestly, if it was streaming, I would definitely have watched it already. But just because I know I have to drive like an hour away from my house, I'm just like, oh my god, it's gonna be so much of my day. But
yeah, that's like 5 hours right there.
Yeah, although I hear it's very good, so I'm giving a tacit blind recommendation in that I have heard a lot of good things about Sound of Freedom, and maybe you should go see it.
Now, to be clear, the Sound of Freedom didn't beat Indiana Jones over the weekend. It beat it on Tuesday when it was released.
Oh.
So
it was released on Tuesday?
On July 4th, yes.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But it still beat Indiana Jones, and it made back its budget pretty much on day one. So
on day one.
Yeah. So
well, it was $14 million.
That's crazy.
Like, they're laughing. Like it's so easy to make a profit on a movie that cost $14 million versus $300.
Right.
It's why the horror genre is doing great. In fact, there's actually, speaking of Shia LaBeouf, his wife, Mia Goth. Do you guys know who she is?
She sounds really familiar.
So she's an actress as well, but she's got a series of slasher films where the third one's coming out this year, and it's one of those things that every time I talk to people about, the movies are called X and Pearl, the ones that are out, Pearl being a prequel to X. X takes place in the 70s, Pearl takes place in the 40s. And they're both very good for different reasons. X is part of a more straight up Texas Chainsaw Massacre style movie, whereas Pearl is a prequel about the killer in the movie, and it's kind of shot like a Wizard of Oz type thing, like it's in like Technicolor, and they're doing a third one that takes place in the late 80s that's coming out. But the thing is, though, they can do things like fire off a trilogy of movies in the span of 2 years that they're shooting on simple sets, using the same farmhouse in X that they use in Pearl as well, because it's supposed to be the same killer, the same place, and they don't have to sell 500 million tickets, because it's like they don't have that much money to make back up before the movie's in the black, before it's
right.
And I think that Todd Phillips is the one who had it right about the superhero genre, though, because his idea, the reason he made Joker, was he wanted DC to be like, hey, have your DC extended universe movies, but maybe also do like a Black series one, like the Vertigo Black series of comic books, where it's like low budget movies that exist in their own universe, standalone, cheap budget, make a ton of money. And they haven't done that yet.
And that is why practical effects are great. There you go.
Sometimes.
All right. I have one more thing today. Actually, two more things today. Adam, I don't know if you saw, before we go on vacation, your dream has been recreated. Have you seen this video?
Mm-hmm.
I saw it.
You saw it? Okay. Do you want to watch? Do you want to watch it, or do you want to?
I think he did a fantastic job on it. I don't think anyone understands how creepy the dream actually was.
Was it close? Was it close to what, how you envisioned it?
Well, no,
Okay.
not at all. No, it was much creepier in my dream.
Okay. Sounds good. Just want to make sure. Well, so No Green Rocks put that together, and I have it. I'm actually going to upload it on our channel this week while we're away. So if you want to watch that video, you can do that. It's about 3.5 minutes long. It's just a short little fun thing. So make sure you guys watch that. I thought we could watch today if Adam hadn't seen it, but since he's seen it, we'll hold off, which is great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank goodness. All right. Well, that's all I got for today. I think that's all we have. Blabs wanted to end the show with a special video, which we're going to do here.
It's so sweet.
which we're gonna do. But Mark, thank you very much. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mark. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. I got a bit of a growling puppy here, but I wanted to make sure she could say goodbye.
Of course. Look at that puppy dog. So happy. Just
look at that face. Oh my gosh.
I know, and there's another one right here.
It's a spoiled face right there.
Yeah.
She is a spoiled dog, but it's okay.
Love it. All right. Like, once again, guys.
Memes first.
Okay, let's get to those memes. But I would like to remind everybody, we are not live next week. We are taking a week siesta, little break. So hang tight with that. We'll be back on Monday, the 17th. July 17th, we'll be back at it. So we're going to take a week off and regroup and be back then. Sounds good. But while I pull these up, Blabs, fill everybody in on the video that you want to show everybody.
So there's this really, really, really sweet bunch of otters just going down slides.
Aw.
And we all need to watch it.
This is the dawning of the sea otter.
The heck was that?
So have you not seen South Park Go God Go?
No.
Oh my God, watch those two episodes. Trust me, it's when Cartman freezes himself because he doesn't want to wait a week for the launch of the Nintendo Wii, and then he wakes up like 4,000 years in the future, and there's a race of advanced sea otters. It's good. It's very good.
In other news, Extra Zero's telling me that we missed a Rumble rant.
Scroll on up. Let's see what we got. Diana says, my gaming went downhill after my boys grew up and left home. Was one thing we loved doing together, and I miss playing and watch them, which is why I enjoy watching you guys game. Makes me feel happy. Oh, Diana, thank you very much. Sorry we missed that. Appreciate that. Greatly appreciate it. Awesome. All right, let's see what we got here. We have this one from No Green Rocks right over here. Let's check it out.
This is Sparta!
Oh, there we go. We got it.
Uh-huh.
The 300
Friendly
reference.
my version too. Like this one, Craig's doing the kick in and Blabs is just cheering him on.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna kick Craig.
We have another one from Jonathan Davis. Says this is side scrollers. Let's go.
Yeah,
That's all right.
Look, we're kicking into.
That's fine.
All right.
The joke. Oh God, I'm kicking Rich. Okay, sorry, Rich. But yeah, no, I guess the joke being that I'm a Spartan, like from Halo.
Right.
Yeah, literally.
Then we have this one from Jonathan Davis. Says Mark got an upgrade. Look at that. Look at you.
Nice.
Love that. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Jonathan. And then we have this one.
Bender right there.
Why was I Squidward? Fuck you.
Why not?
How about that?
Damn.
I'm just
His
kidding.
name is Zoidberg.
Zoidberg, yeah, whatever his name.
This one from
What I
Extra
call him,
Zero.
Squidward.
Says Adam, possible furry.
I didn't want to be a werewolf or a werebear, right? Because there's the human form, and then you can shapeshift.
No, I'm a werewolf.
People are like, "Oh, you're a furry." Shit, maybe I don't know. And I didn't.
I am
love the
planning
pickle
to
outfit.
marry X-Ray Girl within Final Fantasy 14, and she is a pink-haired cat girl. So
Well, don't forget, you guys did get married and all that on tabletop, and you guys were furries. You married a bunny, a legal bunny. She was legal.
yeah, I mean, God,
That's some lore.
that's deep lore. Never mind. We've done enough Mark the Cyborg tangents today.
Then we have this one from Extra Zero. So side scrollers, feel free to use this for Blabs versus Castlevania. Look at all the nice little detail on here. We have the Kragnami and Krigler, and love that. It's good stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
Good stuff. Well, thank you so much for that, Extra Zero. Appreciate that. All right. Oh, then we have check this out. Just coming in at the very, very last second. Says Jeremouth says with the $5 Rumble rant, says saw you guys on the Rumble raid. You, Krigler, X-Ray Girl. What a great time. Oh, that's awesome. We'll appreciate you.
Oh yeah,
sticking around
X-Ray
and-
got rated. That's right.
I was there on Discord. We were playing Final Fantasy.
Amazing stuff. All right. Look, we got a lot going on. The Mario Funathon continues here. This will be the last day that we do it. I know. I'm going to end on the otter.
Everybody,
Relax.
go follow or sub to Mark. His links are in the chat, guys.
Oh yeah, thank you. And I think I have stream clips that are being edited and uploaded nearly every day. And there's a pretty good one that's a discussion between me and some viewers about what real Final Fantasy is. Kind of a follow up to an earlier one.
Real Final Fantasy sounds very elitist.
Well, I mean, the new one is basically a Devil May Cry game, so it's brought up that question a lot, and it's one that's got some depth to it because that's a series that has evolved a lot over the last 30 years.
I mean, Final Fantasy 15, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, they're all this new action style. So it's not necessarily new.
16 is further into action than 7 Remake and 15 are by quite a bit, though, because it's just you play as one character. You don't issue commands to anybody except your dog, and
Not get into that conversation now. Yeah, go watch that video on Mark the Cyborg's channel, which is great. All right, let's get out of here. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in, being a part of our day, being a part of our life. Once again, we'll be back in a week for the next episode of Side Scrollers, but I'll be back in about 30 minutes or so for not Blabs versus Castlevania, but the Funathon. Looking forward to that as we continue our drive and perseverance through Yoshi's Island. With that said, Adam, thank you very much for coming on and being a part of the show every single day, pretty much since launch. Once again, Adam will be joining us on Wednesdays from here on out, which is great. So I'm glad you're still going to be hanging out with us, buddy. So, all right. With all that said, remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Here's some otters to take you into the vacation. Let's go.
Fate